Picturesque mountains of northwest Pakistan. After the calamity, most of the concrete buildings are still intact. That's because much of the damage took place in really remote areas. Getting there is a real challenge. Roads are often narrow and dangerous. Continuing aftershocks mean access is sometimes blocked for hours by rock slides and mudslides. And where the road ends, you have to continue on foot. There, on a remote mountaintop, we came across this devastated village.
There was a lot of fear and panic when the earthquake struck. Everyone was terrified. No one knew what to do. 40 houses were destroyed in this village.
The poorest were the worst hit. This is now what is left of what was once their home. Well, this is a typical mud brick house, which has collapsed. As you can see, I mean, he's saying this was his home for 19 years. He lived here with his family, with his children. Traumatized and struggling to speak, Panos Khan told us how he lost 2 of his family members in the calamity.
We were having lunch over here when the earthquake struck. Most of us were outside, but my son was in there. My life is ruined. How will I ever rebuild this house? I have no money.
The Pakistani government has announced a relief package and compensation for survivors. The army says it has provided initial relief, but says more needs to be done to deliver tents and blankets.
We have not been able to provide them with the requisite relief which they actually deserve because with the meager resources which we have with my unit, we have distributed about 2 tons of ration and to 200 affected families.
It's now becoming clear that the scale of this disaster was thankfully limited in scope. But the trauma and loss these families have been through cannot be underestimated. They have lost their homes and their loved ones. For now, they have been offered shelter by neighbors and relatives. They hope that with some government help, they would be able to rebuild their homes. But for many, their lives may never be the same again. Shahzeb, Jillani, BBC News, District Shangla in northwest Pakistan.